Abraham Maslow, a transpersonal psychologist, wrote that the most important thing for people is to become everything they can be. The point of your life should be to reach all of your goals and realize your full ability as a person. In every part of your life, you should try to be your best. Some people get a lot done in their lives, but most people don't get much done. Successful people make more money, have better families, friends, and relationships, are healthier and have more energy. They also become more well-known and successful in their community. To sum up, they live longer and better lives than most people. This is another goal you should have. Habits are the only thing that sets high workers apart from low performers. People who have put in time and effort to form habits that have helped them get ahead and be happy in every part of their lives are high-performing, successful, and happy. On the other hand, people who don't have these habits are likely to be poor and unhappy. The good news is that you can learn any habit and behavior you consider desirable and necessary. The only limits are the ones you set for yourself, and the only question you should ask yourself is how much you want it. If you are willing to work on yourself for as long as necessary and with the required dedication, you can become the excellent person you are capable of being, regardless of what you have done or the failures you have had in the past. At any point in your life, you can draw a line and decide that your future will be different. You can start having different thoughts, making different decisions, taking different actions, and developing different habits that will undoubtedly lead you to success. The purpose of strategic planning in a business is to increase economic profitability. Planning is done to improve the financial results of the company. Similarly, the purpose of personal strategic planning is to increase the profitability of your life. The goal is to reorganize your life in such a way that you get the maximum benefits from the mental, emotional, and physical energy you invest in your life. Your aim is to use your time to achieve the maximum amount of pleasure, satisfaction, and rewards in everything you do, and this is something you can control. To make the most of your potential, you will need to develop the habit of personal strategic planning. You will have to spend time and energy thinking about and planning your life ahead of time to make sure you get the best results in every area. Personal strategic planning will help you form habits that will help you think about the future and the long run. When you follow these habits, you'll be able to look ahead in time and see what you want to accomplish and where you want to be in the future. The clearer you define your long-term goals, the better decisions you will make in the short term to ensure that you achieve them. For example, if you decide that you want to become a millionaire within 10 or 20 years, you are setting a long-term financial goal. To do this, you assess your current situation and calculate your current worth. Then you draw a line from where you are now to where you want to be at a specific point in the future and plan the route you will follow to reach that goal within the expected time frame. The rule is that the goal should be clear and precise, but you should be flexible with the process to achieve it. You must be open to the possibility that many things will change along the way to your goal. As long as your goal is clear, you can remain flexible and open-minded. You can reevaluate and try different methods. You can accept feedback and make corrections. You can overcome, navigate around, and leap over obstacles, and even decide to head in a completely different direction. This is the normal and natural process for achieving any long-term goal. Every day, make it a habit to write down your goals. I think you should keep a notebook and write down your goals every morning in the present tense, as if you had already reached them. Writing down your goals by hand helps them stick in your mind more deeply. Any events that happen will bring you closer to your goals, and your goals will also come closer to you, often through strange accidents. Making it a habit to write down your goals every day boosts your potential and helps you reach your goals faster. Your whole life will get better if you use this method for a month. You will be shocked at what has happened in a month. This is my favorite exercise for personal strategic planning. It gets me excited about making goals and gets great results every time. This is an activity that I have people do when I travel and hold workshops in 24 countries. Write down 10 goals for the next year in the present tense on a piece of paper. Keep it with you like a New Year's wish list. People have done what I told them to do when I go back to these towns and countries. They approach me to say that this simple exercise has changed their lives. Often they kept the list and didn't look at it again until a year later, and when they did, they were amazed at how many of their goals they had achieved. Simply writing down your goals causes them to be registered in your subconscious and activates your subconscious faculties. Writing and rewriting them daily accelerates the process of achieving them. If you write your goals every day, you multiply the effect by 10, 20, 50, and even 100 times. It stimulates your mind to produce extraordinary ideas that will help you reach your goals. You activate the law of attraction and start attracting the people, circumstances, ideas, and resources you need that will help you incredibly. According to the law of correspondence, your external world will start to reflect your internal world. Even without intending to, you will start thinking about your goals almost all the time. The more you think about your goals, the more you advance toward them, and the more they advance toward you. Your entire life begins to improve. Writing down your thoughts is one of the most useful skills you can pick up to improve your performance. Always have paper and a pen on hand when you need to think, plan, or organize. Writing things down helps you understand them better and gives your ideas shape. When the mind and the hand work together, amazing things happen. Writing uses all of your senses: sight, sound, and touch. You say it, write it down, and see it. It looks like these three modes work together to store what you write in your subconscious mind. This has a growing effect on how you think, feel, and act. People who do well think about things on paper. A lot of people who fail don't. Develop the habit of starting each day with a list of everything you need to do. The best time to make this daily list is in the evening, after finishing your workday. This allows your subconscious mind to work on your list of activities while you sleep, and the next day, you will wake up with ideas and answers to your problems. Develop the habit of setting clear priorities on your list before you begin working. Instead of starting work haphazardly, spend a few minutes organizing your list. Choose the tasks and activities that are most valuable to you. Here are 5 questions you should ask yourself until they become a habit and help you use your time to the highest level. 1. Why am I on payroll? The first question is why you are getting paid. Why were you hired? What clear, measurable benefits do you need to get from your job? For what reason would you give someone if they asked you why you get paid? There are a lot of people who think that just being on the clock means they are working. They get tasks and accomplishments mixed up. A lot of the time they do less and less important things all day. At the end of the day, they say they are tired or worried, but they haven't done much. Do you ever wonder why you're getting paid? 2. What are my most valuable activities? Second, develop the habit of asking yourself what your most valuable activities are. What are the most important things you do each day? If you had to give your boss a list of all your activities, tasks, and important results, and then ask them to select the top 3, what would they say? If you are your own boss, remember that there are usually 3 activities or tasks that represent 90% of the value you bring to the company. Almost all other activities you do are support tasks. Of these 3 tasks, what are the 3 most valuable things you do in your job? 3. What task only you can do? Third, make it a habit to ask yourself what job you are the only one who can do it. This means, does it really make things better if you do it well? There is something that only you can do that is the answer to this question. Someone else can't do that job if you don't, but if you do it well, it makes the most difference for your company and your job right now. What is it? 4. If I could only do one thing, what would it be? Fourth, develop the habit of asking yourself, if you could only do one thing each day, what would provide the most value to the company? If you wrote down everything you do on paper, you would find a task that, if done consistently and throughout the day, would provide more value than any other, even more than all the others combined. What task or activity would add the most value to your work and life if you dedicated the entire day to it? And how could you organize your time and work to be more focused on this single task? One key element of personal effectiveness is developing the habit of spending more time and honing your skills on those few activities that add the most value to your work. Everything else usually has less value than these essential tasks. 5. How can I use my time? How to make the best use of your time is the 5th question, and it may be the most important one when it comes to managing yourself. Every minute and hour, there is an answer to this question. The key to great performance, maximum productivity, personal effectiveness, and success is how well you can answer this question. To put it simply, people are successful because they make it a habit to work on the thing that makes them the most productive at any given time. People fail because they can't or won't figure out what their real goals are, or they aren't disciplined enough to stick to the most important tasks until they're done. One of the habits of personal management is to continuously focus on those few things that only you can do, and that, if done well, significantly improve your work. At the same time, you must use your creativity not to find ways to do more things, but to find ways to eliminate, cut, and outsource tasks that add very little to your life or work. The fact is that you will only take control of your time and life and increase your productivity, performance, and results if you stop doing low-value tasks. It is the only way to gain more time to do the things that truly matter. Get into the habit of questioning every task you perform. Does this task really need to be done? Do I really need to do it? Does it really need to be done now? Is there someone else who can perform this task almost as well as I can? Whenever possible, delegate or outsource the task to someone else so you can focus on those tasks that only you can do and that truly add value to your work. To get better at setting goals and getting things done, do the ABCDE method on your to-do list every morning before you start your work. You will get into the habit of thinking about what might happen if you do or don't do a certain job by using this method. A high priority job is one that could have big effects if not done. If a job doesn't have many effects, it's not very important. The most important thing to do when deciding whether to do something now, later, or never is to think about what will happen. Look over your list of things to do and mark each one with an A, B, C, D, or E. Tasks. These are tasks you must do. The consequences of doing or not doing them are very important. Completing this task is essential for the success of your work or personal life. Identify all the tasks on your list. If you have more than one A task, organize them by A1, A2, etc. B tasks. You should do these things at some point. Someone will be annoyed or hurt if you don't do them, but the effects will be small. As a general rule, you should not start a B task until all of your A tasks are done. C tasks. These are tasks you would like to do, but they have no significant consequences for you or anyone else. In other words, it does not matter much whether they are done or not. You should never do a C task if you have B tasks pending, just as you should never do a B task until all A tasks are completed. D tasks. You can and should give these jobs to other people. You should make it a habit to give other people tasks that they can do so that you have more time to do things that only you can do. E tasks. These are tasks you can and should eliminate as soon as possible. You will take control of your time when you eliminate all low-value or no-value tasks, allowing you to focus on those that truly improve your life and work. Your most powerful tool for success is your ability to think. This ability is never as important as when you use it to decide what to do and in what order. The accuracy of your choices on how to use your time influences almost everything that happens to you, and you are always free to choose. 2. The 80-20 rule should be something you do all the time. Based on this idea, which was first put forward by Vilfredo Pareto in 1896, 80% of the value in anything you do comes from just 20% of it. This means that 80% of the people who are interested in buying from you will actually do so. About 20% of your customers will buy 80% of what you sell. 80% of your earnings will come from 20% of your goods or services. If you follow this rule, then 20% of your clients will cause 80% of your troubles and costs. 2 things on a list of 10 will be worth more than the rest put together. Make it a habit to follow the 80-20 rule in all parts of your life, including work and play. Pay attention to the 20% of things or jobs that are worth more than the other 80%, but take the same amount of time. A lot of people split their time between all the things they need to do. But people who are very productive divide their time up based on how important each job is. That's what you should do. One of the most important habits you should develop is to avoid procrastination and do your most important task first. In my book, Eat That Frog, which became a global bestseller, I explain a proven and practical process you can learn to organize your time and life. Select your most important task, start doing it, and work on it until it is completed. One of the principles I teach is based on the fact that you become what you think about most of the time. You also become what you repeat to yourself most of the time. Whenever you notice that you are procrastinating on a task, repeat to yourself, do it now, do it now, do it now. These words keep your focus and encourage you to return to your main task. The more you discipline yourself to focus on your most important task and follow through until completion, the more energy you will have. Each time you complete an important task, your brain releases a neurotransmitter called endorphins. Endorphins are responsible for making us feel happy and energetic. They are our natural medicine for happiness. Each time your brain releases endorphins, you feel happy, euphoric, motivated, positive, and enthusiastic. And endorphins make you feel more positive, creative, and confident. For example, each time you finish an important task, you get a burst of endorphins that stimulates and motivates you to do more things. Another great habit for saving time is to always start with the most important job and keep working on it until it's done. Instead, starting a job but putting it off because of other things comes up is a bad habit that wastes time. Allow me to explain. First, you get ready for the job. Next, you work on it. Finally, you take a break and forget about it. You have to go through a preparation and relaxation process every time you start working on a task and then stop before finishing it. This takes 500% more time than if you finish the task without being interrupted. It takes about 17 minutes to get back to work after taking a break to answer an electronic interruption like an email, message, or phone call. Most adults check their email anywhere from 3 to 100 times a day. Interruptions like these are what make people stress out and not do their best. Make it a habit to finish your work, no matter what it is. You will not only get more done, but you will also have more drive and energy to do other things. Concentrating on one job, preferably the most important one, is one of the most useful habits you can form to get things done.